Yeah, cut the bullshit, Jennings, and turn the lights back on. These people didn't come to see us kiss their asses, they've come to get their questions answered. We're late enough as it is, Jennings. So load up the questions, you old fuck.
Of course, sir.
In your last Q&A, you mentioned the fact that you started questioning religion and were directed to the Amazing Atheist. What were the major reasons you started to question religion, and what do you think are the biggest dislikes for your form of religion? My question for asking: I'm a gay agnostic male, and I started to question my faith due to the stances on homosexuality and the very questionable stories in the Bible. Also, really love the content. Thank you so much. I started questioning when I was very young. I didn't grow up under any specific religion. My mom was Baptist and my dad was Catholic, so religion was never really enforced when I was growing up, but I would see the similarities in multiple religions, similar themes, similar concepts, and I would question the basic stuff about God. And like you said, the very questionable stories in the Bible. That led to more questioning, to where I just kind of stopped believing in them. And what about my life? No one in my family really cared one way or another. My biggest dislikes were just seeing some people using religion or hiding behind it to just justify rather questionable and immoral actions. So that kind of shied me away from it even more. Do you plan to make a gaming channel? Maybe. Actually, before I made this channel, I had one years ago that I did Let's Plays on, and I didn't much care for it, so I've since deleted that channel, but I've still thought about it. Maybe doing one with some friends or something, I don't know. Yeah, it could be fun to do. Are there any historical landmarks or places you would like to visit in the future? Oh yeah, of course, but the places that I would want to go are like kind of stereotypical and cliched places like Stonehenge or Easter Island, maybe travel to Cario, see the pyramids, see Mount Rushmore, Lady Liberty. I don't travel often. Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter? I'm much more of a Mortal Kombat man myself. Nothing wrong with Street Fighter or anything. I've just found Mortal Kombat much more interesting and fun. Congrats on your milestone. My small question is, if you were a type of fighter, gladiator, mage, whatever, what would you be and why? I'd probably go for mage or warlock or wizard or even priest, as long as I could use magic. Mostly because that'd be awesome and would be better for more ranged attacks from a safer distance. Plus I could poison or heal people. Ooh, the possibilities. 1. Who would you choose to play you in a made-for-TV movie of your life? 2. What's your favorite book and why? Obligatory book questions from an author. 3. Favorite flavor of ice cream? Congrats on hitting 20K. I don't know why, but I'd cast Jonah Hill because I like him and I think he's funny. My favorite book? That's a tough one. I really enjoyed the book Darkwing by Kenneth Opel, which is personally a favorite of mine in his Silverwing series I read when growing up. So for me, I kind of have a nostalgia factor for those books, but whatever, we can do that with movies and games and shit. And favorite ice cream? I love me some fucking cookie dough ice cream, but I really love me some mint chocolate chip. Ugh. So I don't know. It's a tie between those two. Give me one of those and I'll be happy. Cookie dough or mint chocolate chip? Congrats on making it to 20,000 and making many videos over the course of a year. Each one gives me a smile to see in my notifications box, smiley face. For a while I've noticed your ending music would be from the Silent Hill franchise, at least that's what I think it is. If yes, is Silent Hill your favorite video game franchise, or do you have others as well? I guess this can work if you say no to the first part. Hopefully this question doesn't sound too confusing. Oh well, thank you, and no, it's not confusing at all. Yeah, it's from Silent Hill. Even the background music that you're hearing right now is from Silent Hill. Silent Hill is one of my favorite video game franchises, as well as Dark Souls, or well, I should say the Soulsborne series, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, the online game included, Fallout, and that's only just to name a few. Do you have any pets? If not, what would you get? Yeah, I actually own a cat and she's 12 years old. If I didn't own a cat though, I probably would try to shoot for a dog, specifically a husky, because I love huskies and I love dogs, and I've always wanted to own my own dog ever since I was a kid. I've taken care of other people's dogs before, so I've just wanted to own one of my own. This still doesn't mean I wouldn't get a cat, of course, because I love cats, I love dogs, I love all types of animals. I subbed to 10,000, wow, 20,000. Question, what's a philosophical idea that you question the most? Our reality, perspective, religion, human nature, or better yet, our existence? Oh shit, I actually think about those things pretty frequently. I think recently it's been much more about perspective and human nature, given the things that have been going on and the issues and topics that have been talked about right now. So I think those two have definitely been on the brain as of late. Oh boy, I plan on starting an SJW bashing S channel like yours. Are there any tips on like software, hardware, or just basic script tips? Now, if I render new Plague Doctor frames, would you use them in a video? Dumb question, sure, but man. Oh no, not a dumb question at all. Just hit me up on Facebook or on Twitter about that and I'd be interested in talking to you about it. Now just to clarify, I don't really view my channel as being anti-SJW or just SJW bashing. I mean, I can see and understand why people would think that, but I view it more as anti-stupid if anything. It just so happens some of them are SJWs. As for your first question, I use Sony Vegas Pro 13 for movie editing, Audacity for audio, and I use Paint.net and or Fire Alpaca for thumbnails, and I mostly just use WordPad on my computer for script writing because it's there. Occasionally I'll use Google Documents, but for the most part I just use WordPad. All pretty basic, very easy stuff to get. The editing software may cost you a bit of money, but not that much. Favorite video game characters, and who is best robot? Well, one of my favorite video game characters happens to be a robot, HK47, and I find him to be the best robot.
Agreement. This was my thought as well, Master. You show excellent logical skills. For a meatbag.
Were you ever on a Drunken Peasants episode, or was that another guy called Plague Doctor? Yep, that was me. I was only on a few episodes, and I can't even remember which ones because it was very, very brief due to technical issues, but that was me. I popped up a few times on Drunken Peasants. Hey, it's been a while ago since I discovered your channel. I think it was about 6 months ago. Anyway, I just want to thank you for making videos about these subjects. If it weren't for YouTubers like you, I probably would have ended up being a crazy social justice warrior. Anyway, I'm just gonna ask a couple questions and hopefully I don't sound like a weirdo or something. Are you doing well? Does making videos bring some sort of stress to you? As the year continues, in your opinion, do you feel that things are becoming worse or better than last year? And do you have any sort of hope for the future? Anyway, here are my dumb questions, and I would like again to thank you for the videos. Oh, well, thank you very much, and no, your questions are fine. I'm doing much better right now, and I was in a depressing funk for a bit is one of the reasons why this video didn't come out as soon as it did, but I'm kicking it, trying to get back on track, trying to get into the swing of things. Some videos do, sure, not a lot of them, but it just depends on who and what I'm responding to and how long it's going to take to edit it. I don't know, it kind of feels the same like last year to me, although maybe it might get a little worse considering what's happening, but who knows, I hope it gets better. I do have that hope of humanity every now and then, and think that things can get a bit better, it just takes time. Were you once a feminist? Also, great job, can't wait for more content. No, I never called myself a feminist, even before I called myself an egalitarian. I just never went with that label, even though I had and still have feminist ideas and stances. Also, thank you, makes me happy that you guys are wanting to see more from me.
What's a paladin?
What's a paladin? Fuck you!
How's life? Life's been getting a bit better, been hitting bumps like I said before about depression and a bunch of other things that have just been accumulating and piling on top of one another, and I know most of you know that feeling. But you know, I've just been trying to have much more of a positive outlook on things and just trying to move forward in a better direction. What will you think will happen to Democrats if Trump gets reelected in 2020? On a scale of 1 to 10, how annoying are the can you do a face/voice reveal video questions? Honestly, it's a 1. It really doesn't annoy me as much as you may think. I understand why people ask it, and I don't care if they want to keep asking about it, but I've answered that question before about a face reveal on my first Q&A, so. Star Wars or Star Trek? Which actor is your favorite Bond? Congrats on the 20K, by the way. Thank you very much. Well, I really like both, so I can't really pick between them. I dabble in both a lot, so to pick between them would be way too fucking hard for me. I was never a big James Bond fan, so I don't have a favorite Bond, really. Every time I think about James Bond, I always go to the classic Sean Connery portrayals, so I don't know why, that's just kind of the first thing that comes to mind. So I guess that one? Would you ever consider going on a live show such as the YouTube Saints or Warski Live? If so, would you be able to use your voice thing live? I'd be very interested to see this. Congrats on 20K. Thank you, and sure, I totally would. I've seen both of those shows before, and I like Jeff Holiday and Andy Warski, and I've tried in the past with that on like Skype and shit, but they don't really work for me. I tried like 3 different types of voice changers, and it either doesn't work properly on my computer, or I can't get it to sound like me, to sound like this. It just never sounded right, nor did it sound like me, so if I went on, you'd probably just hear my real voice. How disappointed were your parents when you told them you do YouTube? Actually, when I told my father about it, he liked the idea. He liked the idea of me getting the potential to make money in a job out of what I like to do, especially over the internet, so I mean, if he told me he was disappointed about it, I wouldn't have given a shit. I'd have still done it. Are you on VidMe? Actually, yes, I do have an account set up there, and I plan on mirroring my videos on YouTube to there. I don't know when exactly I'm going to start doing that, but I plan on trying to make more outside of the box type of content over on VidMe in the future as well. But if you guys would like to follow me on VidMe, I'll leave a link in the description below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would check it out. What's your favorite video you've ever made? Like that you felt the strongest about or just thought was made the best? Thanks a ton for making your videos, you rock. Nah, you rock, homie. Good question though, that's really tough, because I'll be my own worst critic on everything, including videos, but I mean, I guess if I had to pick one, I don't know, I thought the Daddy of 5 one was pretty funny. I think people really enjoyed that one. Overall, I enjoyed editing it, and I enjoyed getting it out there. But yeah, the Daddy of 5 one, that really pissed me off, so I'm kind of glad I got that off my chest in that video. What is your advice for someone with depression? I personally have bipolar disorder. Also, congrats on 20K, keep up the amazing content. Well, I don't know if I can give any good advice about that, but I'll try. My advice would be is to just take baby steps at a time, because depression can always hit you at any point in any time. And while not being bipolar myself, but having grown up with family members and friends who were bipolar, it makes things much more difficult to deal with. If you have friends and family that are willing to be there for you, to listen to you, do not hesitate to ask questions to them or to talk to them about things, or just vent to them and get stuff off your chest, because you don't want that eating at you and fucking with you. If you try to ignore it or try to stuff it down or try to isolate yourself, we all have different ways in dealing with our depression, but that isn't going to be easy, and that's not really going to help you. But you're human. I'm human. We're all human. So we have our own ways in dealing with our shit, and you can only do your best. You know, just keep picking up the pieces and just keep trying. I hope maybe that helps a bit. I'm sorry if it doesn't. I'm sorry if, you know, it's kind of worthless advice, but, you know, but that's the best that I got. I just watched the first Q&A vid, so never mind about that question. Instead, I'll ask you about Creepypasta, since you know SCP. What are your views on it? I used to be really into creepypastas back when it was first catching on. I've since kind of moved away from it. I'll still read some creepypastas now and again that people send me, or I'll watch a creepypasta reading from time to time on YouTube. And there's some that are pretty good, yeah, but there's also a lot of bad ones too, yeah, so not as impressive as it once was. Before you made a skeptic/agnostic type of YouTube channel, did any other types of channels come to mind first? Well, like I said before, I tried my hand at Let's Playing, which didn't go anywhere, and after that I wanted to try and do a comedy skit type of channel with friends, doing improv and props and costumes and whatnot, but we ended up scrapping that idea. I don't really remember the reason why, but yeah. If you had a time machine, what year and place would you be and why? There's a lot of things you could do with a time machine. If I had a time machine, I'd probably travel to the future about 100 or so years, just to sink my curiosity of what's going to happen. Because if I have a time machine that I can do whatever I want with, I want to make an adventure out of it. And I'd imagine I could get into some wacky hijinks or see some trippy, freaky shit in the future. Also, I'd like to see how we would advance in technology and medicine and as a society. Happy 20K, APD. Do you prefer PC gaming or console gaming? If PC, do you play Overwatch? Thank you. Well, I dab in both, and right now I've been more console than PC, and I've only ever played Overwatch a handful of times, but I don't own it for PC nor for console. Not saying anything bad about it, I'm just not a casual player. If you could meet any 3 famous YouTubers/celebrities, who would you pick and why? Also, do you have any tattoos, or do you plan on getting any ever? I've loved this channel since day one, and I hope you have a splendid career to come. Well, I thank you for being around as long as you have. Well, for YouTubers, I'd like to meet the Drunken Peasants as a whole and just smoke a bowl with them in person. I'd imagine that'd be fun as fuck. I'd love to meet Blair White. She seems like a really cool person to talk to. And I'd like to chill with Brad Jones, aka the Cinema Snob. With celebrities, if we're talking about just, you know, movie celebrities or whatnot, I'd love to meet Chris Pratt and Anna Faris, and since they're both married, that kills 2 birds with 1 stone for me. I'd like to meet Bryan Cranston, and, well, need I say more? It's Bryan Cranston. Finally, I'd probably like to meet Patrick Warburton because of that sweet, sweet, iconic voice he has, and, well, much like Bryan Cranston, it's Patrick Warburton. You really don't need much of a reason other than that. As for tattoos, I only have one, and it's a small one on my wrist, but I do plan on getting more later in life. If you had to pick between becoming a brony for a day or a furry for a day, which one would you pick? What is your desired profession? What's the one YouTuber you'd never hang out with even if you were paid $100,000? I'd probably just be a brony, cause with the furry thing, like would I have to dress up for that the entire day? Because if that's the case, I'm just gonna watch a show and say I like it. So I just go with brony. My desired profession is to be a film director and or a screenwriter, or even an actor. I love watching movies, I love analyzing movies, I fucking love shit with movies. I've always wanted to make my own movie or even just act in a movie. I don't know. $100,000 is a lot of money, so I honestly think I could tolerate damn near anybody for that amount. Like even Onision or Steve Shives, like I do it. I can't think of anybody off the top of my head that I would be like, no, not even for that much. So sorry, but I'd be taking that fucking money. If you found yourself in the movie The Princess Bride, which character would you be and why? You know, honestly, I'd want to be Andre the Giant, mostly because I love wrestling and I really like him in that movie, and I think most people do. Is the area, city/state you live in as batshit crazy as Seattle? You seem to have the opinions of someone surrounded by this insanity daily, like I am in Seattle. Honestly, not really. It's pretty quiet where I'm at, all things considered. Like if you're living in Washington, you're dealing with a lot more shit than I am. What are some musicians/bands that you like the most? Any favorite songs? Oh yeah, some of my favorite bands are Gorillaz, and my favorite song of theirs is Feel Good Inc., of course. Typo Negative is really good. My favorite of theirs is I Don't Wanna Be Me. I love me some Tenacious D, I love Beelzebub, Queen, Pink Floyd, Ozzy Osbourne, and stuff like that. And still to this day, I listen to their shit, and that's only a few. Well, I think that's a good amount of questions answered for right now. Thanks to everyone who asked me things. I apologize if your question wasn't answered in this video, but hey, there's always next time. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day, and as always, I'll see all of you in my next video.